Welcome back once again to Frontliner YouTube channel so that I can give you exclusive updates on what is happening across the country here in Kenya and also outside the country. Now, my fellow Africans, today on Friday marked the 38th day since two Kenyan activists Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo kidnapped in Uganda on their mission to help Bobi Wine to campaign against the government of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ahead of 2026 presidential election that will happen in Uganda early next year. But up to now, nobody knows the whereabouts of these two Kenyan activists. The government of Uganda, together with the government of Kenya, is silent on this matter that is now making the family of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo to have a serious panic and a total distress on the whereabouts of their two beloved sons. That are they dead or alive? You know, this one is not a small issue. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, is quiet on this matter. The government of Uganda is trying to tell Kenyans that they don't know the whereabouts of two Kenyan activists, and that is the reason why I told you on this platform that there is something that is not adding up behind the two Kenyan activists, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, that were abducted. But Ruto, Mudavadi, Museveni knows what is happening. The Minister of the Foreign Affairs of Uganda, together with the Minister of the Foreign Affairs of Kenya, knows what is happening behind the two Kenyan activists that were kidnapped. Wanajua vizuri. But as I'm talking to you right now, human rights in this country of Kenya, together with Kenyan activists, have decided to stand firm to make sure that they find justice to the family of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, whereby their families are crying each and every day. They have tried to plead with the government of the day of President William Ruto to help them to get their sons back from Uganda, where they were abducted. But up to now, there is no news from the government of William Ruto about those two Kenyan activists.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with KTN Prime. A human rights activist now claims she has reliable information about the exact location of activist Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, who are allegedly being held in Kampala, Uganda. The activists have been missing for a month now, as Marion Barracks details.
A human rights activist now claims she has information regarding the whereabouts of activist Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, who have been missing for a month. The activist claims the duo are being detained at the Mbuya military barracks in Kampala, Uganda, a facility reportedly notorious for torture, disappearances and human rights abuses, given Uganda's documented history of such crimes.
Reliable sources have told us that they are being held at the Mbuya military barracks in Kampala. We understand that this is a place that is renowned for torture, disappearances, and horrendous treatment to all of those who are held within those facilities.
The human rights defender father alleges that last week she received reports that both men were in a very poor state, with their health condition worsening.
Nicholas Oyo and Bob Njagi are in very poor physical condition and were allegedly deteriorating, with claims that, which are very believable, that they had been tortured to the point of being unconscious, although this has not been verified, and we remain optimistic.
The recent information contradicts the Uganda People's Defense Forces official statement on the disappearances of the two activists, explicitly denying custody after claiming to have investigated all detention facilities and registers. We have carried out investigations and searched all relevant detention centers, including lock-up registers, custody records, and found no entry relating to the said Nicholas Oyo and Bob Njagi between October 1st, 2025 till date. Critics argue the Uganda People's Defense Forces denial weighs on a critical loophole, as Mbuya military barracks is not a gazetted official detention center. This non-gazetted status allows Ugandan officials to distance themselves from the matter, as the facility is not officially listed in registers. On October 23rd, Ugandan Justice Simon Peter Kino dismissed the habeas corpus application filed by local Ugandan lawyers for the missing individuals, stating that the court cannot squeeze blood from a stone, effectively accepting the military's denial of custody. He ruled the two men as missing persons and advised the applicants to file a formal report with the police for further investigation. Marian Barracks, KTN.
Hawaongei. So Kenyans, together with the family of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Yo, does not know whether Bob Njagi and Nicholas Yo were killed or they are alive. Because as I'm talking to you right now, rumors are now spreading on the social media platform here in Kenya that one of them have been confirmed dead. So we don't know whether it is Bob Njagi or Nicholas Oyo. But before we proceed with this analysis, allow me to play for you some of the clips of the video on how things or details are now emerging behind the kidnapped two Kenyan activists, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, on how Kenyan activists have now stand firm, whereby yesterday on Thursday, they were spotted on the office of Musalia Mudavadi trying to beg him to make sure that they tell them what is really happening behind the two kidnapped Kenyan activists. By the way, they want to know. They want to know the reason why Kenyan government is silent on this particular issue. I want you to watch the video. So that is what is happening. But let me tell you something, my fellow Africans. Do you know that if it can be confirmed that Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo is dead in Uganda, there can be a serious protest in this country of Kenya, because the government knew this issue, but they are just quiet. I told you here in my last video yesterday concerning to what is happening to two Kenyan activists that were abducted, that it is not a matter that this is the moment that Ruto was supposed to do this, to release, to help the family of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo to get their beloved ones, just for the sake of the family. I told you yesterday that Ruto should do it for the sake of the family of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo. Even if these people used to criticize their government, I know that is the problem. But ingekuwa tu ni normal mwananchi ndio alikuwa kidnap Tanzania ama alikuwa kidnap Uganda, angekuwa shatolewa. But it is just about that these people used to criticize the government of William Samoei Ruto, and they went in Uganda without the approve or without a letter from the government of Yoweri Museveni that they are going to help Bobi Wine to prepare the ground ahead of 2027 election. And that is the problem. That Ruto does not want to release that people, and he wants that issue to be like a punishment. Attack ye ujinga. That how can you criticize my government, then later on you want me to help you to win your case. But I told you that this is the time for William Samoei Ruto to put politics aside, to put criticism aside and help the family. Because maybe the family of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo were on the forefront during the presidential election of William Samoei Ruto in the last general election in 2022. Ruto never know. So if you want peace with Kenyans, especially with the Gen Zs, let those people not be confirmed dead. Hiyo tu. Because Kenyans won't allow that one. If these people will be confirmed dead in Uganda, then Kenyans will storm Uganda and hold a serious total shutdown protest where there will be another bloodshed between the government of Kenya and Uganda. Sorry, between the citizen of Kenya and Uganda the government upon what is happening, whereby the government of Uganda is dismissing the whereabouts of two Kenyan activists, that is now creating more tension each and every day, whereby Kenyans are busy preparing that if those two Kenyan activists will be confirmed dead, then it will not be as business as usual. Thank you so much for listening to our analysis, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.